Welcome to PC Gaming Tech Summary. I'm your host Gamer, and today we start our review of the EVGA RTX 306012 Gigabyte. That's right. Okay, we've taken out over here. We've taken this baby out. This is the ASUS Strix 1070. Okay, it's quite a bit longer than the old EVGA, but that's all right. 3 fans on the ASUS. We got 2 fans on the EVGA. Okay, all right. We've got a 650 watt power supply. We've got an Intel i7 7700, which is 4 cores, 8 threads, and we've got 24 gigabytes of 2400 C14 RAM. Now you ask, how do I have 24 gigabytes? Well, simple. That's 2 8s and 2 4s. All right, we've got the radiator mounted on the top now. Okay, and we've got the dust cover removed. All right. Okay, so most importantly, we have RGB. Yes, that's right. And we have only SSDs in there. All right, no mechanical hard drives. Okay. All right. Well, sit right back, have a cup of coffee, enjoy yourself, and I'll be right back. Welcome back to PC Gaming Tech Summary. We start off today with our hardware configuration, and the 1070 was overclocked at 70% constant fans, and we used the OC scanner to overclock that. The 3060 was manually overclocked, and we started using the settings that Jay's 2 cents used in his video about overclocking the 3060. I'll leave a link in the description below. And those ended up being my settings. I backed off from Jay's initial settings, and I was running into some increasing temperatures, so I needed to back off from those settings. And this is what I ended up with. I reduced both the core clock and the memory clock, and there was no loss in FPS when I backed down to these settings. When I have the fans at 100%, I'm able to keep the temperature going up above around 70 degrees Celsius. So our first set of results are on Rise of the Tomb Raider. Okay. So basically, on the 1070, we had 113 frames per second, okay, at 1080p. So a slight increase using the 3060. And then if we look over at the 4K results, you're going to see a jump from 47 FPS to 70, which is a 35% increase. So not bad for our first result. Next, we have Far Cry New Dawn. Again, not much difference on the 1080p results, but if we look at the 1070 at 38 frames per second at 4K, you can see that the 3060 overclocked got a result of 58 FPS, which is an increase of 42%. Not bad, not bad. All right, next, what have we got? Oh, yes, we've got the Hitman 3, brand new game, all right? Okay, so we've got some results with the ASUS Strix 1070, and then at 4K, we jump from 41 frames per second to 65, which is a 45% increase, okay? And we're above that 60 FPS point, so that's fantastic. All right, next, we've got more Hitman results coming on a different benchmark map. That would be Dubai. Yes, Dubai. All right, so again, we got an increase at 1080p, and then when we look at 4K, we jump from 40 frames per second to 65 frames per second, which is a 47% increase. Oh, man, that is fantastic. All right, that's just what we want. Now, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Oh, boy. Yes, so we have a very, very slight increase at 1080p, and then again at 4K we jump from 58 to 89 frames per second, which is a 42% increase. All right, now we're going to have a look at some ray tracing results. So at 1080p with no ray tracing, that first column there, all right, we're at 102 frames per second. Okay, the regular shadows are set at ultra, all right, and that's what we get, 102 frames per second. Okay, and as you can see, when you go to medium ray tracing shadows, you lose at 4 FPS, 4%, you don't lose much. And high and ultra give you similar results. All right, now we have some 4K ray tracing results. All right, so you can see in the first column that we've got no ray tracing going, and out of the box settings for the 3060, okay, that was 81 frames per second, okay. Once we get to ultra, we're down to 49, and when we overclock the 3060, we start off at 89 frames per second, and when we go to high and ultra, we're right around that 60 FPS mark, right where we want to be. All right, so overclocking so far looks quite promising, giving us the results that we want. Again, I game on a 50-inch 4K Samsung TV, so I want to have 60 frames per second with whatever game I play. I want to be right around that mark to get a nice, smooth gaming experience. Well, we had some interesting results in this first episode on the 306012 Gigabyte. Yes. So far, yeah, it's going pretty good. I'm having a lot of fun doing this. I appreciate you guys watching. Next time, we'll carry on with the 3060 review. We'll look at Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah. Look at some of those ray tracing results. We'll look at some other games that have a bit higher FPS, such as Battlefield 5. Just have a general discussion. If you have any thoughts, just put them down in the comment section down below. And if you want, click notifications and subscribe. All right. And we can carry on next time. So thanks for watching, and you'll see me in the next video.